Hello everyone, this is Wolf. If you've already noticed with me being the one who's introducing here, Kyle's our lovely lead and our lovely Amelia is away at the moment, so we're subbing in for her, including introductions to everyone. So, hello everyone! Welcome to Arc 6, Chapter 59 and 60 for the live reads. I hope you're all having a wonderful day or evening where you are. How are we all doing today? We excited for the chapters? Let's see. Hey guys! Lovely to hear from you. Very excited today. We've got some very fun chapters to give to you. I normally do a little bit of editing just for the script for Arc 6, just to make sure that it's all good for the voice actors. I haven't got to do that as much today for chapters 59 and 60, so if you notice anything that just seems a little bit off, I do apologise for that. I didn't get the time to work on it as much as I'd like to this week. Just the small script corrections that I end up normally making. But we fix stuff on the fly here at Studio Reverie. So if you notice any funny grammar, that's why. I apologise. But I'm very, very excited for today. These are some really good chapters coming up. I'm so excited to hear your live voice. I've been binge reading the recordings. Ooh! Well, I'm excited for you to check us out live then. It's a different vibe from just binging it all, honestly. Oh, I'm really excited for these ones today, I won't lie. Like, very, very good times. So with Teal'c, oh my god, no. With Kyle's not being here today, we've divvied up all the roles she's been playing. So expect some, different takes and some fun times. Now, obviously, because of all of those changes and for all of the characters that are pre-recorded, it's going to sound different in the pre-recorded last version. So you'll have lots of differences to look forward to. It's like I'm talking to Subaru right now. Oh my god, you can make me blush. That's really nice of you. Thank you. Although, is it? Or am I Subaru? No, I don't want to be Subaru. Help! We haven't got many good times in Arc 6 so far. Oh, what do you mean? We've had so many good times. So many. We'll just keep the good times coming, We're doing great. This isn't painful. I have realised through the process of voice acting, like, this this arc so far, that, oh my god, I like binge read this when this was coming out back in the day. Initially, and wow, it's way more traumatic when you're having to act it out and like look at it from a long perspective instead of just binging it all in the 3-day sitting. Let's see. I also just binged everything y'all had. Very excited. Oh, awesome! Welcome in, everyone. Welcome into the live experience. It's a whole thing. Oh, welcome on in, Emanon. Binging is fun, but nothing beats listening to it live. Yeah, it's like watching the episode weekly. I say that, but I do like the binge. I won't lie. The binge is fun. But the nice thing about watching something weekly is you get to discuss it and think on it a bit longer. That's why I actually like doing the live recordings themselves and the live reads, is because it's it's making me ponder on the story and the voice acting a bit more, which is really fun. The mayo if. Bonk, no. No mayo if. I'm still at the part where you're getting lust funds, lol. Oh my god, that is back now, eh? Speaking of the lust if, we are still working on that, don't worry. We're making it so it's good, just to be known. In fact, speaking of working on it, we'll probably be working quite a bit on it, either this weekend or the next. So, just know it is in production, and it will be here to violate your ears very soon. Okay, with that said though, I am going to jump scare our cast by undeafening in Discord and be like, "We're live, everyone!" So get ready to get introduced with everyone. See you all in a second.
Samsung X
I am
830.
back. I am back, and we are
Hello.
live.
Hi, back.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, sorry.
How are we?
But
all
yes,
doing?
okay, mystery solved. I can focus on readings today.
Woo!
I will not be haunting the back of my mind.
She's been on a scavenger hunt for a 20-year-old cell phone.
And I found it.
Hey, we had a whole adventure while Wolf was introducing
Yep.
everything.
We went on a little side quest. It was successful.
Yeah.
Wow.
Rewards have been doled out. We're ready to go.
50 rupees for it.
So, let's introduce ourselves as always. Al, you want
Yeah.
to start us off?
Yep. Hello, everyone. I am Al, the guy in the basement. I will be here today narrating for everyone.
Hello, I'm Connor. I'm one of the hosts of the ReZero podcast, and I'm playing Julius and Rom today.
Yeah, and I'm Gold, another one of the hosts of the ReZero podcast, and I'll just be chilling today, I think.
Greeny here, one of the editors of Studio Reverie, and also the other guy in the basement. I am here for assisting with the error sheet and chilling.
Hello, I am Carmen, another one of Studio Reverie's editors, as well as your Melee, and for today, your stand-in Amelia.
Hey all, today, you're in for a treat. It's Tealdi. I am also going to be the stand-in voice for, as usual, Beatrice, but also Shala, and not Anastasia, and also another character that will be introduced today. But I'm not the stand-in for that one. That one's actually me.
That was one you worked very hard for.
Yes.
It's all coming together. And last but very least today, hello, Wolf here. You already heard from me. I'm the voice actor for Subaru. I'm also a co-host of the ReZero podcast. We're all here today, lads. We've assembled. And I'm also the boss today. So, best behavior, everyone.
Yeah.
I'll watch it.
Everyone,
You've all,
hide.
you've all assembled, but at what cost?
Yes, we all
Wolf
know
is the substitute today. We know how it's gonna go.
we all know who's in charge.
Me leaning over my shoulder before the Kyles returns and banishes me.
Now
But
we're just here now.
with that, 59 and 60 today, guys.
Yay!
Those are two numbers.
They are
Heck
two.
Woo!
yes.
And
60 is a
that
big number.
Officially means
Mhm.
after this reading, we will be exactly 2/3 through the way of these chapters. Not in terms of like length of chapters, but like in terms of numbers. Come on.
It's crazy.
So
We started 4 months ago.
after that, 30 chapters to go, which means that the live recordings for Arc 6, they're not far off being finished, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, like
can't
3
believe
months.
it.
3 months at the worst.
At the
and then
worst,
we're
mind you.
done.
At the worst,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. If like catastrophic events keep on happening every single time we try and do a live recording. I hope they don't happen now that I've said
Wednesday
that.
wasn't
but-
catastrophic.
don't-
I just wasn't
Don't
here.
just jinx it.
I was just traveling.
Now, why am I starting to sweat?
All right, are
All
we
right.
we all
ready
ready
to
to go?
begin?
I'm gonna.
See,
Mhm.
got my scripts. Yeah, I think I'm good to go. Everyone else?
As ready
Yes.
as I can be.
Ready as I'll ever be. Yay!
Yeah, you ready to work overtime?
I will
Oh.
earn that that pat on the back paycheck today. Woo!
The price, it will come.
Yay! Nah.
Tail
pats are
day every
fine.
day?
She does contain multitudes.
Yes.
She does. She does.
Taildy's tagline at this point.
So anything ever happens to me, that'll be my epitaph. contained multitudes.
Yeah, we're about to see that on display today.
She contained multitudes.
It's really going to
Yeah, we'll be
confuse
saying
grave
that our
robbers in the
grave-
future.
Yeah.
Where it's just marked and everyone's like, well, I guess there's a bunch of people here.
Oh, that's crazy.
Even if no one shows up, it'll be a full house. It'll be fine.
Yeah, she's every attendee at her own funeral.
Yep.
We all ready to start?
Indeed.
Mhm.
Yes.
Hi.
Alrighty then. Arc 6, Chapter 59. What smiles in the white world. That is that, this is this. Ending their conversation with that, Subaru and Julius both experienced a strange sensation. The truth was, he did not know if he had managed to reach close to Julius's convoluted heart. What he ended up thinking of was whether there could have been better words, a more perfect way of action, a further beautiful way of connection. A way of action which could have overwritten this absurd reality instead of reaching a reckless conclusion like, that is that, this is this.
But it is very befitting of you. For better or worse, you see.
Is that so? Eh? My present self is actually quite concerned with how much befits the me up until yesterday, you know?
In terms of the establishment of oneself, my former self was very much greatly shaken as well. As one who has already tasted the same crisis, let me give you some advice. That is that. This is this.
Oh, shut up!
Subaru howled in response to Julius's ridicule of their earlier banter. Julius shrugged his shoulders at his objection and seemingly had an air of composure. Indeed, it appeared he had seriously managed to make his heart stand up once again a bit. Although they had been words quite immature and maladroit, it was all thanks to the listener being apt. Regardless, whilst the two of them interacted in that fashion.
Sama, are you done?
Oh? Sure.
Behind them, peeking from the top staircase leading to the third floor, was Shala calling out to him. With her black braid dangling down as she peered down to the lower floor, she was looking at them with her voluptuous chest touching the floor.
Why so well behaved? Were you that kind of a character?
Sama's talking to someone one-on-one, then that's when it's some real solid talk, isn't it? So I was told before to stay away because I kawasu the mood if I'm there, so I'm just abiding by that. Oh, right. Master Sama has forgotten everything.
Solid talk and kawasu the mood, eh?
Subaru furrowed his eyebrows in response to Shala, who was laughing earnestly and openly. Seeing Subaru, Shala then jumped and descended from the staircase in one breath. Jumping over 200 stairs, Shala made a silent landing onto the floor. She then proceeded to stand beside Subaru and grab his arm into her chest.
I've told you several times already. Stop doing this kind of stuff. Amelia-chan will misunderstand.
Amelia-sama, you say?
Don't.
Huh.
Me. That's just a small possibility, you know. Even if it's a possibility, it's absurd as finding a needle in a desert. It's still a possibility.
Saying so, Subaru forcefully unfastened Shala's arms. Upon that gesture, Shala said, "Ah," and pouted with a dissatisfied expression.
So mean, treating me like this when I'm thirsting for warmth.
If you're thirsting for warmth, then go hug Meili or Beatrice. The body temperatures of both of them are pretty warm since they're kids. Beatrice? She's pretty warm for being 400 years old.
Bringing that to light by connecting the shocking truth that had been confirmed earlier and the truth that he had ascertained several times, Subaru was shaken by Beatrice's little girl energy. The conclusion was that she would always remain a little girl no matter how many years she may live.
Report anything to the cold Master Sama. It's the disciples' strike. The manager listens to the voice of the workers.
Jeez. Oh, I get it. Positively handle and improve the labor conditions. So, let's hear your report. Did something happen?
For whether you'll really improve them. But, I'm an obedient, cute disciple, so I'll answer. Reed's book has been found.
Huh?
Oh, articulated Shala as she distanced her braid and shoulders away. Subaru widened his eyes upon how unexpected those words were. Julius also widened his eyes just as much.
Miss Shala, what did you say just now?
Like I said, I'm saying Reed's book has been found. Something like the book with that scum's name on it. I personally think it'd be better to just burn it and throw it away. You think so too, right, Master Sama? Master Sama, is that a laugh?
Lowering her hips, Shala looked at Subaru's face from below. Looking back into her black eyes teeming with rustic simplicity and naivete, Subaru opened his mouth and shouted.
That should be the first thing you say!
Ah, look, Subaru, we found Reed's book.
Said Amelia, with a wide smile and a voice like the chime of a silver bell, noticing Subaru climb up the staircase. What she pointed toward with her hand was the bulky book Ram was carrying in her arms. It seemed that was Reed's Book of the Dead. It got found rather quickly. The library filled with a vast number of books no matter one looked. It was unknown for how long it had existed, but if this recorded all of the dead in the world, then the quantity of books was rather suitable.
Good job finding the book while we aimed for amongst all of this. Well, I was busy with Julius's Jinsei Sodan? Ryoho? Hokuro Yoho? Something like that.
Jinsei so Wudan? I don't really get it, but isn't it quite something? But I'm not the one who found it.
Amelia, with her chest puffed up, stated the achievement wasn't hers. What that implied was immediately made clear by her subsequent actions. Amelia gently pushed forward the dark blue-haired young girl hugging her waist.
Mealy was the one who found it. Isn't it Meredith?
Who even says Meritus these days? But that aside, Mealy found it! That's certainly Meritus! Good work.
Accepting Amelia's words, Subaru then automatically commended the achiever as well. With her arms around Amelia's slim waist, and whilst she was being caressed by her, Mealy averted her eyes out of embarrassment in response to Subaru's words.
Not really, but it was a book that just caught my eye, and I just happened to mention it. It got found just slightly quickly, so I don't think it's anything great.
Don't be stupid. You can brag about what you did well just fine. Really good, Mealy. You've nullified the negative of trying to push me back to zero right away, huh?
By something this simple?
Mealy widened her eyes in surprise, and as Subaru overbearingly brushed her head, Mealy didn't take a liking to it, saying, "My hair will get disheveled!" But that simply made Subaru relax his cheeks.
It's fine. It was just an attempt anyway, and you compensated for it with a big achievement. Let's agree to that. So, Reed's book. Nobody's looked into it yet, right?
Mealy tried saying something in response to the smiling Subaru, but remained with her mouth closed. Whilst keeping Mealy's faltering within his vision, Subaru turned his attention to the book for this moment, which was the root subject. The book Ram was carrying. The patterns drawn on its back cover, those were the characters Subaru was unable to read. Neither did it possess a bizarre sensation like giving Reed's vibes upon a single glance.
No matter how unconventional the actual person themselves may be, the book recording them doesn't resound that. Huh.
If the binding was meaninglessly over the top, or if the title aggressively self-asserted itself, then it would have been easier to find. It is helpful that Mealy made up for that and found it.
See? Look, Mealy! Even Rom's complimenting you! That's one and only Rom! This Rom! You can be really glad about...
Kindly shut up.
With his side gouged by her fingers, Subaru collapsed in agony at the same spot, and after quietening Subaru, Ram lightly shook the book in her arms.
There's what happened with Barasu. It would have been a disaster if one did anything rash and lost their memories like Barasu did. That is why it has been shown to nobody.
Uh, we haven't confirmed if the reason for my memory loss is that book.
The comment, which did not convince him alone, was slashed down by Ram's laugh. The truth was, it was nearly impossible that his memory loss and the Book of the Dead were unrelated. Even if they had found the book they were looking for, it was only natural that they would have disputes over how it was to be utilized.
So, the book has properly been found, in fact. What remains is using it, I suppose.
So remarked Beatrice, having the same train of thought as Subaru. Receiving her words, everyone's joy for having discovered the book was then coated with nervousness. This one book was capable of causing memory loss should its usage be mistaken. That was the same as gulping down a medicine of unknown identity. Reluctance was natural.
So, should we discuss and conjecture the dangers?
Discuss and conjecture the dangers. Is that even possible, Echidna?
Conjecture is possible only on the basis of events that have already occurred and bits and pieces of information, though.
Saying so, Echidna raised her hands and shrugged. Afterwards, she raised her index finger.
First, the riskiness of the Book of the Dead. Just as what Natsuki-kun's present condition indicates, there exists the possibility of losing one's memories. From what Natsuki-kun stated, the memories which spill and fall out are rather in fragments, though I suppose, in this case, it would be better to call the remaining memories to be in fragments?
The portrait The portion which spilled over and the portion which remained, the amount of the former was overwhelmingly greater. What Echidna had said was correct. However, what slightly deviated from the truth here was that Subaru used memory loss and its remnants as camouflage in order to hide return by death. The truth was, the first time around when he had lost memories in its truest sense, Subaru had lost memories of everything, of after arriving in the different world, rather. Henceforth, it would be better to think that the amnesia made no pardons. Right now, the only actual precedent set was that Subaru merely did not lose himself due to the memory loss. Had he lost not only episodic moments, but also his own self? When he thought about that, he shuddered. At the same time, why had he not lost memories of just a different world, but those of the original world as well? That question also posed within Subaru's mind.
And for the amnesia is also possible to speculate about. First, memories are erased as indemnification for reading the Book of the Dead. That is difficult to consider, keeping in mind the differences in cases of Natsuki-kun and Julius, who have both read the books. Don't really want to think about it, but there's also the possibility of losing a small bit of memories, in fact. If what's being read and the memories that get erased are proportional in amount, then that induction would also be logical, I suppose.
I agree. In other words, the reason why Subaru and my circumstances are different is due to the difference in the quantity of books read. It would coincide with the Subaru whom Miss Maylie had witnessed last night.
Beatrice objected to Echidna's Beatrice objected to Echidna's inference, which was then affirmed by Julius. Listening to his intelligent party members converse, Subaru nodded in response.
In other words, the voluminous of the books read possibly had something to do with the loss of memories?
Means that would also be a possible way of interpretation. In the case of this inference being affirmed, the ones who should force their eyes through Reed's Book of the Dead are us, who have not read a single Book of the Dead before. It may be dangerous for Natsuki-kun and Julius, who have already read them.
The view that the one with experience should read it and the view that one without experience should read it ran counter to each other. Both sides were logical, and it was difficult to conceive either side as wrong. However, what made him curious then was...
Then, what what about me, who's already lost memories once? If the condition for losing memories is to acclimate information from Books of the Dead, have I been reset? Or not?
That is quite a grave issue. If Barazu's memories are lost again and everything has to be explained again, even the thought of it makes one shudder.
Your language makes me shudder too!
I'm also really worried about that. I don't want Subaru to forget all sorts of things again.
Amelia and Ram affirmed the concerns Subaru wielded in their own ways. In all honesty, the questions had no end to them. It was unknown whether reading a large number of people made them disappear or if a smaller number of people was dangerous. He could not say it openly, but Subaru also possessed the memories of reading Meili's Book of the Dead in the previous loop. Would that count as having read one book this time as well?
What? Does that look in your eyes say that you're thinking of just making me read as excitation? That hurts.
There's no way. If you say stupid stuff, you'll be grounded.
It's abuse. Isn't the way you treat prisoners even more mean than back when we were in the mansion, huh?
Subaru scolded Meili in response to her ill-humored joke, which had been remarked upon accepting his gaze. Subsequently, Meili patted her cheeks, grabbed Shawl and Amelia's hands, and hid behind them. Though quite self-interested, that was how cute children ought to be. Subaru smiled wryly before Meili's attitude, and then turned back towards Echidna.
So, do you have any other ideas?
Let us see. Whether we, who have the leeway of a single book more than Julius, are to read it, or if Julius, who has already experienced it, is to read it, or if Natsuki-kun, whose memories may have overflown once already, is to read it.
Can I make a comment that's really convenient to me? I think it's best if I read it.
Rue?
Echidna brought up the list of candidates, and Beatrice grasped Subaru's hand when he responded. Subaru winked whilst looking into her gaze, tinted with a deeper color of concern than one of unease.
This time for bad jokes, in fact. His own memories. Subaru will...
No, I don't want to lose my memories, of course. But this is the appropriate call in terms of risk management. No matter how you look at it, I'm the person with the least possibility of putting everyone in danger by losing memories. I'm the weakest one out of us all, after all.
Well, he didn't want to say he was not weaker than at least Meili, but it was a well-known fact that he could not win against any of the others. He would be easy to subdue, and since he'd already lost memories once, the way to cope with it would also be simple. The issue was, Subaru had already accumulated memories of 4 labs which must not be forgotten. That is why...
I'm not throwing down the gauntlet with the intention to forget. But we are a team. Everyone needs to bear some sort of responsibility for the sake of everyone. Julius is charged with fighting. Echidna is charged with intellect. Ram is charged with having a wicked tongue. Meili is charged with being cute. Beatrice is charged with being cute. Amelia-chan is charged with being the beautiful Isamufu. Shula is charged with being the Suyakashi barman. If you think about it that way, then I should be the one charged with this.
There are way too many pointless positions. Not at all! When the plot takes a turn for the worse, romantic scenes are important. If it's for art and Master-sama, then I'll take off my clothes!
No! If you take any more clothes off, I'll pull you out! So you don't have to do your best!
Flipped!
Everyone here knew that this was Subaru's way of comforting them. In response to Subaru's speech and conduct, whilst he presumed upon that, the first one to sigh was Beatrice, who still had his hand gripped. She took a deep inhale and then turned her eyes towards Subaru.
Please! If things take this sort of a turn, then Super will never budge no matter what, I suppose. That part of you hasn't changed even after losing memories, in fact. That's already a well-known fact, seeing what happened with Meili, I suppose.
But you love me with all my qualities, right? I'll blush.
Don't get cocky, in fact!
He spanked the blushing Beatrice around her hips. He spanked the blushing Beatrice around her hips. However, her words did not possess the nuance of denial, and it seemed the same went for the rest of the members as well.
You are getting mashed if you forget your promise with Rom.
What with that right when I was having such a nice monologue?
What indeed?
Snorting her nose, Ram then turned the book she held in her arms to Subaru. Profoundly tasting the heavy sensation of the book with his arms, Subaru smiled bitterly.
Even if we tell you not to be reckless, Subaru will still be reckless. Isn't that so? Think that part of you is really unfair. I'm always worried.
I have nothing to say but apologize for that. But just as much Amelia-chan is worried, I'm worried about you the same amount. What do you think? Would that be presumptuous?
It makes me really happy that Subaru thinks that way. That's why I feel really convoluted. Come back no matter what. Even if we make a promise like that, Subaru will break it anyway, so I won't make that promise.
The fact that the me until yesterday couldn't be trusted this much instead gets my heart throbbing. I wonder what the hell he did.
Shrugging his shoulders upon hearing Amelia's pleasant words, Subaru asked, "Am I right?" to those surrounding them, and upon that he noticed everyone but Shala and Meili had all averted their eyes away. Regardless of Beatrice and Ram, who were in the same camp as him, it seemed that Subaru's breaking of promises had reached even Julius and Echidna. Regardless,
I'll read it. No objections. Right.
In the end, I am unable to come up with any inference or suspicion. Though, if possible, I wanted to opt for eyes which would be the least endangered out of everyone here.
Echidna apologetically lowered her eyes before Subaru, who was lightly holding the book. What she had remarked was true, and the fact that she had been concerned for everyone was unquestionable. That was why Subaru was able to respond earnestly to her, saying, "Don't let it bother you."
Well, for now, I'll dive into it. If I lose my memories, then put me down with ice and explain everything to me gently.
Perform such a violent act, in fact.
I know, because you're kind.
Caressing the perturbed Beatrice on her head, he gently pressed her wide forehead. Beatrice pouted with a discontent expression and took a single step backward, and with everyone's gazes focusing upon him, Subaru sat down on the spot, crossed his legs, and immediately took a deep inhale. Atop his knees, read Astrea's Book of the Dead. Upon concentrating on it, there was definitely a certain ominousness emanating from the book. A similar sensation had also existed back when he had read her Book of the Dead, but the sense of intimidation this book had was far greater. Perhaps what the reader could feel changed depending on whose book was taken. Just what kind of a life would he be made to read, he pondered, and would Subaru's memories be able to withstand it? Putting his hand on the front cover of the book, Subaru, for merely once, looked towards everyone who was watching over him. Beatrice, Meili, Ram, Echidna, Julius, Shala were observing him, and...
Subaru!
Well then, I'll be leaving. I may get late coming back, so you can go ahead and have dinner.
Stupid.
Seen off by that smile of Amelia's, Subaru turned over the front cover of the Book of the Dead over. Upon that instant, the characters written on the book glowed, and Subaru was made to undergo a hallucination as though information was being smitten into his brain via his eyeballs, but in but a moment, his consciousness was taken in towards the book. His consciousness was detached from the library and repelled towards darkness. What he had felt when he read Maylee's Book of the Dead had become quite amorphous now. The spectacles he had witnessed, the life she had walked, the paths she had trodden were distinct in their own ways. However, his memories were of witnessing those spectacles. Tangibly speaking, of becoming one with the one whose name was the title of the Book of the Dead, and being made to personally experience those subjective thoughts, sights. To summarize, that journey of treading through the content of the Book of the Dead was to assimilate into that person. In those moments, the Natsuki Subaru was witnessing the contents. In those moments, the Natsuki Subaru witnessing the contents of the book had been Meili Portrude. That was precisely that was precisely why it could be believed that the queer self-consciousness which bore the presence of Meili as me had constantly overshadowed Subaru's consciousness from close vicinity. If that was the potency, if that was the potency of the Book of the Dead, then right now, what Subaru was supposed to be laying his eyes on was the life of Reed Astrea, his subjective world within his incomprehensible thinking. What he had thought, what he had liked, what he disliked, what he loved, what he despised, what he achieved. He was supposed to become one with the philosophy of Reed Astrea and be shown his life. Thus, Subaru noticed the abnormality at once. The place where he was right now definitely was not that of Reed Astrea's past.
Huh?
He stood in a white location. His environs, unduly spacious, white, ambiguous space of no visible end stretched across, and without knowing where his self was, Subaru was exhausted of reason. He could see his hands, he could see his legs. Upon turning his back, his torso and hips were also there. In other words, Subaru's body was here. This did not coincide with the phenomena that had occurred within Meili's Book of the Dead. Unable to concur, he was thrown into an unnatural circumstance. From what he could see, Subaru's attire was the same as when he had decided to read the Book of the Dead. Whether that was due to Subaru recognizing that he would look like this in this present condition, or the will of something else, like the work of the library's will, hence reconstructing Subaru in that form. He did not want to consider that the moment he had read the book, his entire body had gotten captured within.
Oh, son, you've come here again?
Huh?
Suddenly, Subaru's shoulders sprang upon hearing a voice which was not his own, but that of another. That voice came from behind. Subaru spontaneously jumped ahead and subsequently turned around, drawing a circle, remaining vigilant. In response to Subaru's spasmodic conduct, the personage behind rounded its eyes.
Who are you?
Looking at that person, Subaru whispered openly with perplexity and bafflement. That was his encounter with someone completely unexpected and unknown to Subaru. The one standing there was a young girl Subaru had never seen before, pale-toned, with hair lengthy, truly lengthy, like transparent gold threads. They spanned across the white floor, smudging underfoot her standing self like a sear of golden hair. Large, round blue eyes, limbs like transparent porcelain. On the other hand, she wore unshapely clothes on her body, seemingly crude, pale clothes attached together, hurting her beautiful impression. A young girl he had never seen before. That was how it was supposed to be. However, before that young girl's form, Subaru narrowed his eyes and rubbed his eyelids with the back of his hand, a gesture to seemingly recover the field of vision from his haze, but her visual a gesture to seemingly recover the field of vision from haze, but her visible form did not change. Even after looking at her again, she remained a young girl who he was unacquainted with. He felt his memories throb faintly.
Could you calm down a bit, Oni-san?
What's this place? No! Who are you? Which one should I ask first?
Oh, covetous, Oni-san. But the quality of vomiting out the honest emotion of wanting to ask both is certainly not bad. We love covetous people, you see.
Saying so, in response to the baffled Subaru, the young girl cleaved her lips sideways and smiled. Yes, she smiled, and that was the only befitting expression for describing that smile. The young girl was 13 to 14 years of age. It gave the impression of being even younger. Coupled with her well-featured physical appearance, unquestionably a smile would suit the young girl, and yet, in Subaru's eyes, her smile seemed ominous. His instincts conjectured as though the soul of this young girl had belittled a great number of lives, and while Subaru shuddered before him, the young girl reported.
This is Lonesome White, the final destination of the soul, the cradle of Odd Lagna, the Hall of Memories.
Hall of Memories.
Yes, the Hall of Memories. And
Subaru widened his eyes upon hearing the term unheard of. While making a satisfied expression upon seeing Subaru's reaction, the young girl spoke. While smiling, the malice which had taken the shape of a young girl vocalized.
we are a Sin Archbishop of the Witch Cult, representing gluttony, Louis Arneb. Pretty sure it'll be for a short while again, but please be caring, Oni-san.
And that's the chapter.
And that's the
Woo!
chapter.
Huzzah!
Amazing
Welcome
job,
back,
guys.
Louis.
Well done. You survived.
Huzzah!
That was pretty amazing.
Teal'c, your mic just hates Beatrice above
It
It
does.
Yeah,
oh my
it
gosh, I'm
hates
so
Beatrice.
sorry. Literally, only Beatrice.
Specific. It's
Oh my
specific.
gosh, I am so sorry. Something
Well-
about Beatrice's voice just is like,
I'm gonna.
Well, I was doing the error sheet. I'm like, nah, I'm not bothering with Beatrice.
yeah, don't bother. Just
Yeah.
Beatrice has to be re-recorded anyway, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
fine.
Yeah.
I,
I'm just making
Ow.
noise to fill the space.
I went to listen through the stream, and Al, for some reason, yours was robotic here and there.
Oh
Really?
no!
Aw.
Yeah.
Boo!
Was it coming through on Discord as robotic?
I
No.
no,
Oh.
I think it sounds fine.
Yeah, it sounds fine.
Huh.
on mine.
that must be
Man.
a stream issue. Then.
Yeah.
it's a stream issue. That's what I put just to be certain while I'm like
Okay.
bouncing
Okay.
between two.
Yeah.
But
It
no,
happens.
everything else you guys did amazing.
Dude,
I'll,
the spontaneous American accent in response to Shell.
I'll let you guys discuss for a bit. I will be right back. I just need to go do something quick.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Well,
Al,
well.
You saying lips made me fucking cackle.
I know.
I said super.
Yeah.
I was like, I pre-read the line. I was like, what the fuck is Subaru doing? And then I started reading. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get this over in one. And then I said, smack her lips, and I went, no, no.
Yeah,
Shut
I
up,
had to pull away
Betty.
from my
No.
mic because it was like,
It's like,
I-
no, no.
I laughed. I was like, what?
Yeah, I like my first instinct was to instantly go, bleh, and I had to hold that back into going.
Every
Oh.
now and then, we have to remember that this is, in fact, Arc 2 Subaru.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, oh god, what are you doing, dude?
oh,
You know,
boy.
let's get over this line fast. Ah.
Oh my
Get
god,
over
that
it fast.
was
Too fast, too fast.
Why would you do this, Subaru? Why would you?
why would
The
you?
word choice too is so. He spanked her. Ah.
Basically, like a little, not like a full-on spank, but just like a little corrective.
Like
Bop
pushing
on the
her
tush.
hips.
Yeah. This guy.
The-
Sometimes. I mean, he means well,
Sometimes.
but like.
Context,
some-
dude. Appearances matter, man.
Yeah, sometimes he could be dying the other times. When he's
Oh my
dying, he has no time to do this.
Nope.
Jesus Christ.
What do we thought of Louis' first appearance?
I love
Idiot
Louis.
child.
I mean,
He's
she's
here. It's gonna
she's
be
been
great.
here a bit on a couple chapters and like talking over. Maybe there's stuff.
Maybe.
going on. She's sus.
Maybe.
At least in Arc 5.
kinda
For
weird.
sure.
Yeah.
She's a little off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
well-
I mean, it's an
well-
archbishop. He's a little bit weird.
Only a little bit.
Just a tick.
Now, if this was Subaru from, actually having his memories, he'd hear Sin Archbishop of Gluttony and then immediately, try to beat the
Yeah.
shit out of her, but unfortunately, with this
Worth it.
Subaru, it's not on site.
Yeah.
No.
Give him a chapter.
Give him a chapter.
Give him a chapter.
Let him
Yeah.
cook.
Let him cook.
It was not even a conversation with Pedal Goose, and that became its arch nemesis for an entire arc.
That's true.
Yeah.
Freaking Beto.
He saw Regulus twice and ruined his entire life's plan. This guy doesn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't take well to the bishops.
Yeah. Oh, he really doesn't.
Oh man, but we're hungry.
No!
It's been so long.
It's time for you to fast.
Please, let me nibble on a little bit, Subaru.
How
Nibble.
hungry.
Nibble, nibble.
You have Subaru at home.
You're gonna eat wolf?
It's Cosmo.
Oh.
Oh, it's Cos. I don't know if that guy would be enjoying being eaten, but
Mhm.
you know what? As long as it's not Subaru.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine he instantly just gets eaten again.
Nom nom nom.
Alright, guys, that whole
Wow.
phase,
Crazy
pointless.
place gets eaten again.
Time to do it
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, we have to go back for another round.
This time he strangles Beatrice.
No.
No.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
But her neck
No.
is so crunchable.
No.
No.
It's really not.
I
That's
know.
really not.
Yeah.
Betty
Like,
it pops.
Yeah, she fades into pixie dust.
It's like a water balloon. Once you break the seal, the whole thing just
Oh
shoots
yeah,
out.
yeah.
Mhm.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah. Like you prick her a bit too much, and then all of her insides, which is just mana, starts leaking out, and then
Yeah, and then you just can't stop it.
yeah, and then she fades into nothingness.
Yep.
Poor Betty.
Until that was
Which
retconned
is-
in a later arc, and it changed how it happens when she starts to go away.
Yep. Yep. I mean, it's at the very least, it's why her corpse wasn't around earlier
Yeah.
in the arc.
Mm-hmm.
No, that obviously means she was the perp. She did it all.
Oh,
yeah,
no,
obviously.
That's the
Yeah,
red
must be.
one. Sorry, I'm still
must
on the
be.
phone quest.
God.
Well,
I
because the
thought you said
colors
the
weren't
side
matching
quest.
up at first, but then I finally found it. He had a red one. So
Specifically.
yeah, it was specifically red. But okay. Yes, it's exactly as I remember it. All right, now the quest is over.
You get
You've gotten
13
your 50
experience
XP?
and a magic item that's
have.
way too overpowered for this level.
Yeah. 50 XP, maybe an item, maybe a blade of
Look,
grass.
I did
that-
it because
from
it
the
also
animator.
gives a crafting recipe that you can only get from this quest, so
Mm,
Oh.
it's
Yeah, that's it.
required.
DM, can I
That makes
level up
sense.
now?
The completion
Every time you ask, I push it back
another.
another session.
Yeah, it goes into, that's how it goes. It always is another session.
Yeah.
You just shut up about it. You don't question the DM. Oof. You think
Think eating
eating
Subaru's-
Subaru's memories is getting something caught in your throat? I mean,
Well, that's what it's like when you eat someone with a fake name, right? Like that's what happened with
Mhm.
Felt.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yummy.
I feel like eating Subaru's memories would just taste like shit.
It's like overcooked spaghetti that was
Mhm.
left on the
Yeah.
bottom of the pan too long, so it's mushy, but it's also congealed into itself,
Yeah.
so you can't really get a good bite out of it.
I feel like it would taste good at first, but then it's so dense.
Yeah, and you can't separate the strands. It's just a ball.
Mm-hmm.
Dense is a really good way of putting his memories, as much as they
Mhm.
overlap the same time frame.
The
Yeah.
orb of muck is what it tastes like. The dense orb of muck.
It's well done.
Not
The
the
dense,
well-done
well
memory.
done orb of muck.
Well done, under seasoned somehow.
God, and she can't even use Koopy Mayo to help.
I
Nope.
know, so sad.
Yeah, I don't think that's, funded with the Archbishop powers.
I'm waiting for Subaru to have a one-on-one against a gluttony in like a proper fight and declare his name to be Lollymancer and just have them consume
Just
the
have him
fake
choke.
name.
Somehow it erases the title Lollymancer from the world. That'd be a win-win.
Yeah,
For
I
him,
mean,
yeah.
there's no negative here.
There is no negative.
Do you know what Yen Press translated little girl user to in the light novels?
Oh my god. I'll be right back, guys.
I
Oh,
should
no.
know this.
What is
I was
it?
just reading
It's it's Moppet Mage.
What the
Ooh, well, that makes sense.
I mean,
does.
yeah, but why?
And it has good alliteration. That's probably why they went for it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at least it's not little girl user. At least it's not little girl user.
I mean, I still think that that's better than Lollymancer, personally. but
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Little girl
There's a
user
double entendre
hits-
with the other
Yeah.
one, right? Like
Yeah.
little girl user could not be them referring to. Yeah.
Yeah.
declined.
Yeah. Declined. That man was on the island.
Oh my god. Stop. We're gonna get sued.
Yeah, he was on the list. He was on the
We're gonna
list.
get sued.
Yeah,
We're gonna get sued.
absolutely.
We don't have a $1.5 billion with Paramount. We aren't safe.
Yeah, we might be cooked.
Eh.
Guys, it's over. I've taken us down.
Oops.
Your reverie is ending today.
I have
Apologize.
Just in time to witness the end.
Wolf and
Yeah.
Cal are gonna have
That'd
to
be
do
the
a-
worst part. He just comes back. He's like, "Wait, what happened?" It's like, "Oh, we were unsupervised, and
This
things
stream has
kind of
ended.
What did you do while you were unsupervised? God damn it!
we may
This
or
channel has
may
been deleted
not
by the
have
Secret
mentioned
Service.
some file.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Guys,
Maybe-
if anything
maybe
happens, I didn't
a
hurt
land
myself.
where
I
there's an
didn't
island.
hurt myself.
Look, all we were implying, Wolf, is that maybe Roswell was employing some people that might have been on the island.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh god. Oh no!
Yeah.
No! 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 No!
So
Although we did
chapter
also find out that we missed
16
out on Muppet Mage over
Muppet
Lollymancer, and
Mage.
that's sad.
Muppet Mage, yeah.
Muppet Mage would have been so much better.
Absolute muppet!
No, that's Muppets.
Yeah, that's Muppet.
Yeah, that's
Moppet.
Kermit the Frog mage.
Muppet. Specifically,
Yeah, Muppet.
yeah, mop it.
Muppet.
Yeah.
Push it. Pull it.
Muppet.
Where's-
Finally
it?
get to hear the no. Because mop it is a
Yeah,
it's
it
another term for
basically
child,
just means an endearing small child.
yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
Goomba stompable child.
I can assure you that in most British colloquialisms, we've changed that to.
Oh yeah, it's an insult. Yep.
Yeah, it's an insult now. Yeah.
Yeah.
You absolute moppet.
You bloody
I-
muppets!
Apparently,
I-
it began as a Middle Eastern word that England appropriated.
Yeah, that sounds right. We
That-
appropriate a lot.
Yeah, that
of
sounds like England.
Yeah.
like spices and special artifacts and territory.
You'd think with all the
Appropriating
spices you
but
stole from
still
other
eating
countries, you
beans
would
with
learn how to
yeah,
use
beans with
them.
toast.
Okay, so that is the food of the lower classes. Okay, like the people that can
The
actually
beans with toast.
Yeah, literally, because it like to put it in perspective, a can of beans, at least back in the day when inflation wasn't hitting like a bitch, would have been like a pound at most for a can, and then you just get a slice of bread,
Okay.
and that would be your meal, and that would be affordable.
Uh-huh.
Great Depression as food.
Well, we
Yep.
still kind of living like
Pretty
that
much.
in the good old
Yeah.
times in the UK.
And look, the Roaring 20s have been brought back in the worst possible way.
Yeah.
In Britain.
Yeah, it's not a good time. But
Yeah.
actual like proper high class restaurant British food is really good, like genuinely.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, what people see is the struggle meals.
The not
struggle.
great. The not great
Oh, mate, you want
times.
some fish and chips?
Fish and chips is good, eh? I'll tell you what.
Yeah, they are.
Proper beer battered
They
fish and
are
chips.
absolutely
Come
good.
on.
Ooh, yeah.
Can't say no.
I like that when we start talking about anything British and Wolf immediately loses the ability to pronounce the letter T.
I mean, I wasn't gonna say it.
The British took it like they take everything else. I'm kidding.
Sorry, the British took it like they took everything
British.
I'm gonna cry.
else.
I'm gonna cry. Reverie has now ended due to bullying. It's gone.
No, it was gone before that because of the files. Keep up.
Pathetic.
Anyway,
Okay. Sidetrack too much.
we should
Arc 6,
go.
chapter
Yes,
60,
it's time
anyone?
for
You can't
Let's
call
go.
this sidetracking when we were filling time while our boss was
Yeah.
away.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. The dog
Oh.
demanded help, and I gave it.
Okay.
We good to go?
Now we can bring it back in.
It's
Wolf,
sexy
you ready to
time.
do this?
Yep. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Wolf, can you turn your gain up just a little bit?
A
You were coming
smidgen?
in a bit quiet, and it was cutting you out, at least on Discord, a little bit.
How is that?
Sounds good on my end.
Okay. I didn't see anyone having. I knew it was a bit. The game was a little too low for some people early on in the stream, but it seems like it has sorted itself out when I changed it.
It sounds good. I just listened in.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome.
We, I guess it's just the three of us.
Yep. Strap in.
Let's do it.
Good luck with it.
Yee.
Arc 6, Chapter 60. A Single Spot of Sunshine. The Hall of Memories in Louis Arneb. Yes, in front of the yellow-haired young girl who had responded to his query, Subaru remained silent. Within the unanticipated space of white, a happenstance meeting with an unanticipated young girl, and the know-it-all expression of the young girl set up an ambiance as though she would be willing to talk about a multitude of things.
First of all, witch cult or gluttony, Sin Archbishop? What the hell do they even mean?
At Subaru's remark, whilst he folded his arms and tilted his head, Louis put her hand on her mouth and smiled widely. If that moment alone were to be excluded, the solitary girl standing still within the illusion-like spectacle of sheer white was a location capable of being an artwork masterpiece. But the alarm of Subaru's instincts had been turbulently ringing since earlier. Subaru's survival instincts were highly likely to be of no avail, as a result of being brought up in tranquil modern-day Japan. The reason why they were excited was a matter of course due to the homogeneous aura of the young girl. Along with that, this was the result of having been visited by unforeseen circumstances, so it was halfway something which could not have been helped, but pertaining to the existence wielding such know-it-all airs, the knowledge Subaru was endowed with was seemingly insufficient. It was also the case with what she had said just now. Witch cult, Sin Archbishop, Hall of Memories, and whatnot. Perchance it may have been ordinary knowledge in this world, but unfortunately, Subaru possessed no change of such ordinary general knowledge in his hand. Consequently, he found launching a progressive question to be difficult as well.
Well, you see, is basically a gathering of people loathed by this world.
Oh?
Even Oni-san must have at least heard the name Witch of Envy, no? The witch cult has a deep connection with that witch, Sama. You can think of it as something like followers.
Then, what you said just now refers to Sin, Archbishop. Huh.
Sin and Archbishop had quite a strong ambience of running counter to each other as a combination, but was a naming which suited Subaru's sense down to a T. for upon hearing it even once,
It can be understood. It's the name of a villain.
Oh, well, no, no, as it's no. We're telling you no, even though it's no, you know?
horizontally shaking her head in refusal, Louis embraced her own petite body in Subaru's line of sight. With no signs of the smile fading away from those lips, her refusal was merely an appearance as well. It was a young girl with her true feelings beyond perception. No, perhaps it should be said they were vague, with no point to grip on.
Tease a tender young girl with such words, Oni-san. Even we get hurt, you know? Because we are the owner of a heart more fragile and easier to hurt than all others.
Not convincing at all. Also, the way you use your first-person pronoun, is it because it stuck to your character? Or is it a cool appeal, like a one-man army? We, or us? It's not stable, you know?
You don't worry about that. It's just that there are too many selves, so it's getting airy as to which one is to be the subject, that's all. At this point, we're actually getting sick of it, you know?
Whilst saying so, Louis lightly oriented her gaze downwards, continuing her words, saying, "But..."
Can't be helped, can it? They are gifts from Oni-chan and Nisama, after all. They must be accepted earnestly, or it'll be disqualified as a little sister. We're siblings, so we must help each other out and cooperate, you know?
Well, you're an adorable little sister. Considerate of your elder brothers. I was the only child, so I'm jealous.
That's so, eh? Oni-san may have also gotten a little brother or little sister about now, no?
Could you stop saying terrifying stuff? I don't want to imagine that!
Regardless, his parents were an intimate married couple, so something like that actually meant no jest. If it was the father and mother of his, they would have another child upon Subaru's disappearance. No, inconceivable. Should Subaru disappear, they would continue searching until they find him. That was how Subaru's parents were. What must have his mother thought of her son, who had not even said any greetings when leaving? What must have his father felt upon getting to know about that? He wished that Subaru's summoning into the different world was a reincarnation, was what his belief was. Must he make his parents taste the agony of searching for their disappeared son? Then Subaru wished to relay that he had come to the different world after dying. That was much more comfortable. It had much more salvation. That was why.
Understand, Oni-san?
Don't joke around!
He felt indignant at Louis, who was peering at Subaru from below, carrying the hair which buried the floor in both of her arms. It was not as if she had spoken of her current uneasiness. It was merely that, having his bitter expression observed, he had been told as if she understood Subaru's sentiments. Finding that to be terribly infuriating, Subaru shouted at Louis and turned his back towards her.
As if you know anything about me! Saying things as you please.
Inexcusably apologetic toward Dad and Mom, aren't you? Without having said a single word of farewell, you're regretting how disobedient of a son you were. No, you were always regretting. Both now and earlier, isn't it?
Yes. With the purport of being aware, whilst continuing the remarks of one showing to be a sympathizer, Louis softly hugged Subaru's back. A small, petite frame. Subaru halted his breath and stiffened his body, not because of having been nestled close to by the young girl, because of the very content of the young girl's words. However, those comments of one showing to be a sympathizer had unmistakably guessed the end of Subaru's heart correctly.
Isn't it obvious we understand? Because there's not a single person who knows about Oni-san as much as we or us do, after all.
Don't touch me!
Louis harbored a sour look on her lips at Subaru, who swung his arms, raised his breath, and took distance. What the hell? Do females of unknown character in this world have no hesitation at all in having physical contact with unfamiliar men? Too overfamiliar. It was frightening to possibly abandon the heart weakened by the warmth of that body.
What's the deal with you? What do you want to say?
Oni-san, to be relieved. We're telling you. It's all right. It's all right. There's a proper full stop on your feelings for Dad and Mom. Even if it may be one-sided, it's with the intention of facing them. Your heart got relaxed. We're telling you. Pretense, you see?
Whilst deriding, Louis had the nails of her right hand stab into her left arm. With the note of scratching, with vigor one would flinch from pain by simply witnessing, she began wounding that thin, white arm. At Subaru, who knitted his eyebrows upon that deed, Louis unraveled her frighteningly scarlet, long tongue.
Pretense is completely healthy. It makes it look as if there are no problems within one's heart at all. You're skilled at it, Oni-san, aren't you? It's sad that you're skilled at it, Oni-san, isn't it?
Subaru distorted his lips at the speech which seemingly terribly abraded the interior of his chest. Now on, he must abide by the alarm bell of his instinct, which his way of ringing may undergo change should he go along with her furthermore.
I don't get what you want to say. I don't get it, but it'll become an injury, so stop. Well then, let's play conversation catch. No fastballs allowed. Let's keep in mind to only throw curveballs. Mutually. Yeah. For example, let's continue the conversation about Sin Archbishops from earlier.
Without staying on board with Louis's way, Subaru returned the topic to what it was just recently. If he got to know that Sin Archbishop meant Sin Archbishop literally, then he had some knowledge of the associativity between the words sin and gluttony.
If you're gluttony, then there must be 6 other similar people, no?
Sama were also to be included, then that would make exactly 6, I guess? But it got reduced by 2 people recently, so there may be 4 people now. If only those 2 could just die quickly as well, you know?
If that's what you want to say, then your sense of comradeship seems to be pretty low.
It's obvious, you know? We may name ourselves as something like Sin Archbishops, or we're just a gathering of people loathed by this world anyway. Just the way of calling us is different, but we're the same as the witch after all.
Saying so, Louis flopped and knelt down at the spot. When she did that, she appeared as having herself sunken within the hair of golden threads. An extremely peculiar ambience. Subaru scratched his head, settling his hips into a position, making sure her hair did not get crushed underneath, and tilted his head, saying, "Witch?"
Same as the witch, you say? You mean the same as the witch, which seems to be believed as being excessively frightening?
One would expect. The nature of the Witch of Envy is worse than even us, so we don't want to be lumped together, you know? The rest is the same. Witch and Sin Archbishop both are the same thing, just called differently. The good-for-nothings compatible with witch factors are all just called differently due to different eras and positions. That's all. Well, the present Oni-san has forgotten about witches and Sin Archbishops, and us anyways, so whichever one may be fine, you know? We get it, we do get it, we get it if you know, as we get it, but we got it because we had gotten it.
Shut up!
Mouthing off, intercepting the words as sailing upon him like a wave, Subaru put his hand on his chin. Somehow or another, it also felt like he was getting to hear things which were quite important. Though it was a speech Subaru could not make a single pinpoint at, it seemed he could remain without getting into the awkward situation of returning to Amelia and the rest without reaping any harvest. However, Subaru pondering here was not due to the existence or non-existence of that achievement. Subaru was pondering here due to the unease he felt from Louis's responses, which could be avoided no more. No, it was a sensation which ought to be labeled as one he was already familiar with. With that as the reason, if there was anything that stuck in his mind...
Could it be your lineage of gods?
Lineage of gods, you say? Is it this? Something like reincarnation into different worlds? Don't really get it, but we and that are unrelated. Certainly, this is a place which can feel weird, though.
Chuckling and mocking with her yellow hair underneath her buttocks, Louis turned her body around once at the very spot and denoted the white world possessing nothing with her lightly fluttering hair.
Appears a place where everything disappears. Hence, a place with nothing. We're standing here all alone. That's why we may seem like the guardian deity of this place. Isn't that so?
The cradle of Odd Lagana, was it? Including the name of Hall of Memories as well. None of it got into my head whatsoever.
Yes, so. Basically, this is the place where souls are filtered.
Souls filtered?
At the phrasing difficulty to be accustomed to, Subaru had question marks float within his mind. Filtering, in other words, had the same implication as, say, sieving, but it was rare to hear it being utilized with regards to souls. However, Louis, with a happy expression, pulled her knees towards herself and said, "Yes, yes."
Cloth which has been used before once again after washing and drying it, no? The same goes for souls. But clearing the dirt stuck onto it, it's used once more when in a clear state again.
That dirt stuck onto it. Does it mean memories or experiences and stuff?
That's what you can understand, then let's keep it that way, all right? Oni-san, do as how you'd like.
Distorting his cheeks at Louis, who had her tongue out, Subaru turned his head around towards the environs. As ever, in the white space, in the Hall of Memories, existed nothing novel to the eyes. Within the endless white world, an easy-to-understand exhibit was not present either. For argument's sake, if this place was indeed how Louis spoke of it, then there could have been levitating, disembodied souls, or the filtered memories and experiences rendered visible in some form.
Easy to comprehend, you know?
That god called Odd Lagana is pretty malicious, isn't it?
Article so great as to be called God, that thing. That thing has nothing like such splendid ideology, after all. It's just a mechanism, you know? A mechanism for keeping the world from breaking is what it is.
A mechanism.
Whether witch factors, or divine protections, or sword saints, or witches, it considers nothing, you know? If there's something nice about Odd Lagna, it's just that it's uninterested, equal, impartial, and favors nothing.
Narrowing her eyes with seeming disinterest, Louis interposed her own face in the space between her knees which had been pulled towards herself. Sidelong glancing at her, who had her cheeks curved by her white kneecaps, Subaru took a short inhale. She was a young girl who had continued conversing quite obediently till now. He could reckon that perhaps she had not spoken any seemingly false lies either. And that was precisely why Subaru inhaled. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling once more, and then he looked at her and asked her,
The one who stole my memories of everything until yesterday. Was that you?
So?
The offender responded to Subaru's question exceedingly promptly. With his doubt readily responded to, Subaru closed his eyes. He felt that he would not be denied much. She must have done something like that. That was why she had judged so much about him with the dialogue they'd had in this scant time. That was how he felt. Louis knew far too much. She was deeply, far too all familiar with the emotions of Subaru's heart. And including precisely that which the present Natsuki Subaru could never be aware of, Louis Arneb was thoroughly informed regarding Natsuki Subaru. It was not something which could be falsely classified with words, such as it being a type of observation seldom seen, and so that was precisely why Subaru had gone ahead and inquired with complete honesty and attained its affirmation. Mysteriously, what was welling up in his chest was not rage, but understanding. In other words,
So, the me of yesterday did indeed come here as well, huh?
Strictly speaking, the way of arrival was a bit different, you see. But, well, the purpose was the same. The result was slightly different, that's all. But how amazing! How wonderful! After how many times did you manage to come here? Hey, answer, Oni-san! We answered, you know. After having gotten eaten by us. What kind of Oni-san are you, Oni-san?
upon that question of Louis, chill ran through the muscles around Subaru's spine. Her eyes, questions, were clearly in vain of one another of the conviction of return by death. No, it was a matter of course. It was but a matter of course. If she had stolen the memories of Natsuki Subaru, and had the ability to freely read those memories, then there was nothing odd about her knowing of return by death. Return by death was not a power wielded only by the Subaru who had lost his memories, but must have unquestionably been the power which Natsuki Subaru had wielded prior to losing his memories. Certainly, Natsuki Subaru had made free use of that power and sailed across a great number of difficult situations. The result of that was the trust he gained from Amelia, Beatrice, his comrades, the testimony of cheat equals foul, as it were. Subaru did not intend to find faults in that. Whether it be by cheating or foul play, if in a setting where someone's life was on the line, there must not be any hesitation in utilizing it. The choice Natsuki Subaru had made was correct. That was why Subaru must do the same now, in Natsuki Subaru's absence. And accepting that there being worth in its application, he gulped down the power of return by death. However, contrary to that resolve, there existed a queer uneasiness, anxiety, in the interior of Subaru's chest. Louis Arnett was infringing upon that difficult-to-repel fear, that taboo, that was.
About how nobody must get to know? If it's about that, then it's already too late, Oni-san. Us meeting Oni-san happened yesterday, no? The Kimari about how nobody must get to know has already been broken a long time back. But happenings of the Hall of Memories don't leak outside easily. That's why the scary, scary witch won't make a move.
Quickly, with her limbs set on the floor, Louis drew her face closer to Subaru, who was sitting cross-legged. She expressed a bewitching smile unsuited to her age, whilst having her scarlet tongue peek out.
Hey, Oni-san, which time is this?
At that tone of voice, which seemed as if her tongue was directly pecking at his brain, Subaru tasted a numbing pain. And then, having his tongue and throat tremble faintly,
It's the 5th time.
Amazing! How amazing! So amazing, it's amazing! Isn't it amazing? We're telling you it's amazing because it's amazing because it is amazing that we admire and yearn for it. Gluttonous drinking. Gluttony! We irresistibly want to taste Oni-san so much that our stomach would be filled to bursting. From our experiences, we think appetite and sexual desire are similar. Sexual desire, in other words, is love, right? In other words, Oni-san, we...
Thrusting Subaru away, Louis, who was in the position of riding a horseback, breathed out warm sighs with an aroused face. With blood rushing to her cheeks and eyes spellbound, Louis had her tongue crawl on Subaru's neck without any hesitation. At the same pace, the words she had tried to continue on to, his thoughts finally caught up to what they would be.
Oh,
His heart exploded, reminded of the words of love that had fallen upon Subaru's countless times in the previous loop, wherein he had desired death under circumstances which took a hopeless turn.
Let's see, you tiny damn sexologist!
Opening his eyes, Subaru seized the nape of the young girl who was pressing him down, and at the same pace, violently, coercively pushed her down onto the white floor. Exchanging their stances, this time it was Subaru in the position of riding a horse on top of her. A slender, light figure, the long yellow hair stretching out on the floor like a golden bed she was lying sprawled upon, while Subaru kept a check on her neck and bared his canines, seemingly in a position of having pinned her down.
Did you let your guard down? How unfortunate! In this position, I have an overwhelming advantage. If you don't want to get your neck strangled like this, my memories are to be...
Strangle the neck if they're not returned? Our neck? A feeble little girl's?
With her neck arrested, in the state of having gotten the right over her life and death seized, Louis gazed at Subaru, who was breathing roughly through his nose, and loosened her lips with the earlier excitement in her eyes not dimmed in the slightest. And from her loosened lip, she asked with an imitative voice, which felt as if it were a curse.
Son, really going to do something like that?
Do you think I can't?
Not really think. We actually know, isn't it right? After all, look, it's such that the current us know more about Oni-san than Oni-san himself anyway.
Whilst saying so, Louis repeatedly nudged her cheeks with the index fingers of both her hands and tilted her head as if provoking. Holding his breath at that attitude of hers, Subaru looked down onto his right hand which had grasped Louis's neck. Should Subaru wish to show his seriousness at all he had to do was pour strength into his arms. Should he show his seriousness, Louis would certainly reconsider her ideas as well. Were he to be asked whether he would kill her, that would certainly be difficult, arduous. Even for a just cause like being a suicide assistant, Subaru had been unable to smash consciousness out of his comrade's mind with a piece of rubble. So even if he knew it was an enemy of his, powerfully strangling the neck of the young girl before his eyes was what he should do. No. At least strangling he was capable of. It was a necessity. He called back to Amelia, Beatrice, Ram, Meili, Julius, Echidna, Shala, Patrichet, everyone in his mind, and...
Has faded away from your arms, hasn't it, Oni-san? We really had no intention of resisting, you know? After all, over here we are just as how it seems, or a weak young girl. Unlike Oni-chan or Ni-sama, we must take the form of eaten people, or we can't haul out any powers. Isn't that so?
With the finger that had been nudging her own cheek, Louis nudged Subaru's right hand, which was gripping to Louis's neck. With that frail strength, Subaru's palm let go of her neck far too swiftly.
Shit!
Down anymore, Oni-san. It was a good performance, a good performance. After all, to be honest, it's such that we didn't even think that Oni-san would come back here.
Do you think that's any good consolation?
Continuing to remain in the pushed-down stance, Louis, who was lying sprawled on the floor, made an expression suggesting that the worst had already passed. Destroying that expression, he searched for words in order to convey his demands, but was unable to find anything precise. That was why, looking at Subaru, who ended up making an utterance like that of a poor loser, Louis raised her voice with an similar to observing fish swimming inside an aquarium.
Well, it turned out nicely, didn't it? If something like the memories of Natsuki Subaru are regained, the current Oni-san will end up dying. That's what it'd mean anyway. So stay without doing something idiotic like committing suicide, you know?
Uh,
Huh? What's with that weird reaction? It can't be, didn't you notice? If memories return, the current self will get overwritten, and its existence will get terminated. That's the same as dying, no?
Subaru was petrified at that attitude of Louis, as if she were asked the solution to an obvious riddle. He would die. He would disappear, vanish. So he had been distinctly told. So he had been told that upon the return of the memories of Natsuki Subaru, the consciousness, the memories of the Subaru present right here, right now, would get overwritten and disappear, vanish. Should that not be named as death, what else should it be?
Oh, Natsuki Subaru is dead, isn't he? He's nowhere after all. But if Natsuki Subaru comes back, this time it'll be Oni-san who will die, isn't it? He won't be able to go anywhere after all. Does Natsuki Subaru really have the worth to go so far for to be recovered, eh? Oni-san must also be capable of doing the same things, no? Oni-san must have also come to love the people around him in the same way. Isn't that right? The people around too will also come to love Oni-san the same way. What's so wrong with that?
what?
So wrong with that? Should that be asked, then certainly there was nothing wrong with it. Certainly, there was nothing wrong with either Natsuki Subaru or Natsuki Subaru. Subaru was a human possessing numerous flaws, filled with flaws such that he would be repulsed by himself. Should he be asked whom he hated most in the world, he would answer it was himself with nary an instant's worth of faltering. That was how hopeless, insufficient Natsuki Subaru was. However, there present were no errors in Subaru pertaining to this particular question. What was present was merely the hopeless truth, a single spot of sunshine.
To Meteor-chan and the others, I
Wanted to return Natsuki Subaru. Henceforth, he intended to prepare resolve within himself that should he find the chance to recover his memories, he would take it without any hesitation. However, he had completely averted his eyes away from the disappearance of his own existence. Speaking of sheer conveniences, the two memories blending together, or some part of Natsuki Subaru being left within the current Subaru, he had thought if something like that couldn't happen. He had wondered if it all could not be settled in a nice shape of some sort. He expected the occurrence of a miracle of this kind. Subaru's such validating expectations were.
What'd it be like? Never seen a person who had their memories returned before, so we have no idea.
Held her teeth, as though ridiculing Subaru's conflict, with the expression in her eyes being that of a cat tormenting a mouse. The offender who had heisted these memories, even irresponsibly, was pleased to say that she knew nothing of what would happen thereafter. That was not a lie, certainly the truth. Louis Arneb would never do something such as returning what she had stolen away to the original owner. Consequently, she truly held no idea what would happen to Natsuki Subaru as a consequence of having the memories returned.
Son, you got this life by being born and everything. It won't do if you don't celebrate it.
That irresponsible usurper continued to gaze intently at Subaru's face from an inch's worth of distance.
As a result of us eating the memories of Natsuki Subaru, Oni-san is here. In other words, we are something like Oni-san's birth parent. Isn't that right? To try and choose the option of having yourself die in front of that parent Isn't that what's called lack of filial piety, Oni-san?
Something so absurd as...
Memories are what shape people, Oni-san.
Becoming deeper, becoming colder, Louis erased all expression and said only those brief words with a serious tone. Without thinking, Subaru inhaled at the acuity of these words and quieted. Alongside, he had also felt that this had not been the first time he had heard those words. If not mistaken, then that resonance, those words, immediately before facing the second death as well, had been...
Oni-san has relationships which the present Oni-san has created. Why don't you try living again anew, facing forward? We think that's also an option, you know? On top of that, don't know how we should feel saying this, but Natsuki Subaru didn't really feel like the image of an ideal man, you know?
Closing one of her eyes, Louis stuck the emotions of Subaru's heart with an expression as if finding what she was going to say to be difficult. All the more, she linked her arms in front of her chest while remaining in the stance of being a horseback ridden on by Subaru, and gazed into his dark pupils with eyes like that of a dreaming maiden.
Well, Amelia, a miserable girl who is avoided by everyone just because of having her birth being the same as the former witch. Ah, how kind must myself be to still remain by her side.
What?
Weak, fragile Beatrice, without anyone to rely on, a lonely girl who spent a time of solitude all by herself. Myself must pull her hand through the dark and dangerous path.
Before the staggered Subaru, what Louis erroneously continued articulating were the names of two young girls who had prayed for Subaru's safety and shown him a path, and terribly elliptical mental images of them. Even Subaru understood whose mental images they were and what Louis intended to express. Though he understood that was.
Voted in seeking to dedicate gratuitous love, Rem. Foolish and beautiful, how pure. Surely she is an incomplete being who gains the true feeling of living by becoming frantic for the sake of someone else, other than herself. Precisely that must be led by the existence known as I.
What are you... What are you trying to do?
Speaking for what Natsuki Subaru used to think, we're telling you. Wanting a sense of superiority. Not thinking it was for the sake of someone else all the time, you know? Flocking only convenient people around. Getting drunk on the pleasant feeling of offering a hand. Not even throwing any feed to a dog which won't get emotionally attached. Keeping those away. Do you really intend to hand yourself over to that, Natsuki Subaru?
The question, having overlapped twice. That was a requisition of confession for Natsuki Subaru, by Louis, by gluttony. To speak his true feelings, that was what Louis had demanded of Subaru. Whether he did want to die, whether he did not want to die, if he, for argument's sake, were to die, would it be for the sake of someone like that? No. Subaru's death would not be for the sake of Natsuki Subaru. No, from the beginning, Subaru did not possess the intent to die. Even if he thought of returning Natsuki Subaru back to Amelia and the others, but for it to mean his own death? No, could he, however, truly trust Natsuki Subaru? At the very least, Natsuki Subaru had killed Meili, and had even carved incomprehensible characters on the wall.
Oni-san?
While saying so, Louis grasped Subaru's hands with her slender arms and fastened them to her own neck. Once again, though this time through her own incitement, Louis' slim neck lay vulnerable to Subaru's arms. Should he pour strength in both of them, her neck would surely fracture easily. If not, the conclusions would be established. However, to not do that meant either choosing to kill Natsuki Subaru, or the same happening to himself. At the very least, that was what Louis had been saying. For argument's sake, just for argument's sake, if he broke this slim neck, and if Natsuki Subaru was to return and the present Subaru to disappear, would he not be able to witness even the fruits of his actions? If that was the case, then what was the meaning of Subaru mustering up courage and undertaking action here?
What will you do? What is it that you'll do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do, huh? What do you want to do? What do you want to do it like? Whatever you do, it's all right, you know? Whatever it ends up as, we'll forgive you.
As though tormenting him, as though ridiculing them, as though laying a curse upon him, Louis's words struck Subaru's eardrums. So did Louis Arneb, so did Gluttony, so did the Sin Archbishop, so did the slim young girl, so did the abominable existence, so did his birth parent. The choice of what he would do with Natsuki Subaru drew near Natsuki Subaru. Well,
Do you want to do, Oni-san?
oh God, I love
That
that chapter.
Oh,
chapter.
that chapter
So
is so
Holy
good.
That chapter was just. Oh my god.
You did amazing, guys. Your narration, Connor, was on point, and oh
Mhm.
my god,
Oh,
Teodi, your introduction as Louis is getting so good.
I literally got chills from some
Yeah.
of her lines. It's like, so well done.
But we're running into a similar problem with
A
the
couple of
microphone.
times, yeah.
I know, I'm sorry about that. I really need to.
It's like it's just
that
the
stuff.
really short
Yeah,
sentences.
it's the
like
really
when
short
it's
sentences.
Yeah,
single
it doesn't
words.
like short.
Mhm.
It's good for long, but any little sounds are just like one words. It's like, ooh, what's over here?
Yeah, it like it is what it is. We'll figure it out. But like
Yeah,
you,
I'll
aside,
I'll re-record them later. It'll be way better.
your performance was amazing today.
Thank you.
I gotta touch this chapter up and fix some of the narration on it too. So
Mhm.
this will probably be just a full one that
A
the three of
full
us end
done
up
as
re-recording at some point.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I agree.
even as
No
it is,
worries.
It
it's
was
just
entertaining.
so good.
yeah.
This one answers a bit of questions that we've had so far. That who's become kind of our villain behind everything through all of this.
Mhm.
It's great.
I think it's what's so terrifying about it too is that she's taking the right approach to beat Subaru. You have to beat him psychologically to win, right?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely just destroying any fortitude he had built up of, I'm going to do whatever it takes to make everyone happy. I'm going to bring my own memories back. I'm going to do it. I'm going to be the hero. It's like, but that's suicide, you know?
You're killing
That's
yourself.
killing the self that you have now, just as the one that was there before I already killed.
And as your
How's
birth
that
Yeah,
parent,
and
feel?
also
I
it's
can't let
like,
you do that
and
to
also,
yourself.
yeah, it's like, would you really do that in front of your parent? That's so cruel of you.
You already ruined your relationship with the other ones. Do you want to do that to this one too? Can you
Messed
do it? Can
up.
you kill me
You are
like
just
killed Melee?
incapable of being a good son. Oh.
Okay.
Trauma.
Oh, that burns.
It's just so many layers of fucked up because she knows the inner workings of Subaru's like inferiority complex and all of the feelings he has towards his parents and everything that's gone wrong, and it's just so sad because it's like he's even like thinking about it like, what do you know about my parents? You know nothing, and she's just like stabbing that dagger deep into his brain.
He's like, but I know everything.
Yeah.
I
And
know nothing. I know that you didn't even say goodbye to your mom the last time she ever talked to you. They've probably
And
moved
you're
on,
always
forgotten.
apologizing to your parents. Maybe if you weren't such a disappointment, you wouldn't have to do that so much.
And only be around with people who you can pull out of the darkness yourself, those who can't do anything but rely on you. It's sickening, isn't it? Just absolutely foul.
You used to have people around for
like-
validation.
It's the
Mhm.
worst possible words this version of Subaru could hear right now, genuinely.
Mhm.
It's also it's a bit of meta commentary too, because the like points she's making about Rem and Amelia and Beatrice are like actual criticisms thrown to the series about his
Mhm.
relationship with Amelia
Yeah,
and Beatrice.
exactly.
And it's what makes the next chapter so good too.
Yes!
I genuinely can't
I'm
wait for
so
the next
excited
chapter.
for
Make
the
sure
next
you
chapters!
tune in on Wednesday.
Yes, Wednesday, everyone. Wednesday at 7 p.m. EST. Oh, it's gonna be so good, so peak.
I promise I won't be traveling this time, so I will be here.
And I will be on my better microphone, so I can go a bit harder on the voice acting. I was being notably a bit
Ooh.
more reduced today.
Honestly, I
Yeah.
think it worked. Like his more not controlled, but kind of beaten.
Quiet desperation.
Yeah, desperation. I
Yeah.
think hits this Subaru more than like the hyper exuberant one that we
Yes.
get
Yeah.
before
That
this.
that is what I was going for. So I'm glad it hit for today.
Mhm.
But oh my god, psychological damage inflicted, y'all. I was getting,
Intermixed with massive lore drops.
I was getting so into character because of how good your performance was, Teodi. I was like,
Aw,
oh my
thank you.
god. Like, what do I do? I'm so sad.
Now channel that sadness and put it into the
More.
work.
More tears. Salty, salty, sweet tears.
Make sure you stay hydrated because you'll be crying everywhere when I'm done with you.
But yeah, one of my she's such a fun antagonist. She's really cool.
She is.
Also, it's cool to see that we're getting like the information of like all the souls pass through here, and that's
Yeah,
why
how the world works.
souls in memory like are so interconnected into the gluttony powers that they pass through this hall of memories in the space between spaces of the mechanism of the world. Like this is kind of where the deep lore begins.
Yeah,
for
this
the
is where the
series.
deep lore
Yeah.
of the series starts to unveil itself slowly. It's even funnier too because like even though pre-Amnesia Subaru isn't the one who seeks out information the most desperately, like he would be like, "Oh, this is really useful information, interesting," and this Subaru's just like, "What the fuck is this girl talking about?"
Yeah, I mean,
Go on about,
Amnesia,
ma'am.
not Amnesia Baru would be going crazy over the lore dump she's giving about the differences and
He would be looking
similarities
for Rem.
between the bishops and everything. Yeah, as well as looking for Rem. I mean, he probably would have. Well, we don't know what happened. This is apparently their second meeting. He did something to get himself eaten.
Wolf was getting so into character, he's forgetting the story himself.
Nice.
Yeah.
Also, someone else knows about Return by Death, and it's not a good person to know. Uh-oh.
Yeah, and I just
Yeah.
love his panic, like, oh god, someone knows. It's really bad. I can already feel the pain coming. You're not supposed to know. Like, it's not even just from his own. He's only experienced the taboo triggering once as Amnesia Baru, right?
Yeah.
So it's got to also be like a conditioned response into him, like that it's an involuntary feeling of someone mentioning it.
I think it's also because in his thoughts, he just clearly knows that this person is, one, not trustworthy, and two, clearly a villain. And to have that turn around onto him, to not only do I know your deepest psychological stuff, I know what you can do, and I'm curious how many times you've done it since I did this to you, is just like, oh.
Yeah. It's so heartening. Like, how do you... Obviously, those of us who know how he gets out of the situation. But how do you get out of this situation where you're just this completely outmatched by your opponent? To the point where she is actively putting your hands around her throat, saying,
Go on,
it,
do it.
bitch.
Yeah, because she
Like,
knows
come
you
on,
won't.
you've done it once before. Do it again.
That's exactly...
gonna-
Yeah.
This might kill me. It could kill you, too.
I think it goes beyond just even killing himself. It's like he doesn't want to do what the Natsuki Subaru he hates did. Like, he doesn't want to murder someone, especially not someone he perceives as like a little girl, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
it. Subaru is very like he's not willing to kill anyone. He doesn't want to. Even when he was at his most desperate point to murder someone and was going crazy, he couldn't do it. Like,
I mean, he killed Betelgeuse, but that's been about the extent of it.
yeah, but to be fair, that was kind of self-defense in that instance, I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This would be him
Yes.
making the active choice to strangle someone to death.
Yeah.
All I know is
Someone
I
he
would
just met too.
I would have gotten baited. I would have done it.
We're just
It's like, oh,
not
this is
nibbled
your
at the
fault?
bait, just straight chomped it.
Yeah.
My
Like, obviously, you can't surpass my powers. So if this goes wrong, then oh well. But if this is your fault, I'm going to take you out of the picture.
my thoughts would go to stuff like, but what if me doing this somehow messes something up, especially if I'm in like this specific scenario where I'm not in my body, maybe, or I'm not in the actual world. Like, what condition does it work? Does like what happens if I kill her? All of that stuff will be playing through my brain of like, so there's so many different possibilities that could happen. And because this Subaru lacks so much information, like, he's probably just so anxiety-ridden and filled with, like, indecision about anything he could do here.
I mean, legally, I go to prison if I know that she has stolen my secrets and I don't do something about it. So that's a whole other issue. There. I have top secret clearance. You're not supposed to know that stuff.
And he just America comes in and isekais. So, does someone have our state secrets and oil? Fuck yeah!
I mean, Otto had like an entire cart full of oil he was
Yep.
selling to Roswell, like American.
That sweet, sweet black gold in another
Yep.
world that's like technologically disadvantaged. Oh my god, it's free real estate.
Pretty
Let's
much.
see how.
Yep.
Let's see how
Basically.
Valakia's Flying Dragon Squadron stands up against two F-15s.
Yeah, I was about to say. Can you imagine, like, Jesus, they would be so buggered. Not only that, the amount of experiments they would do to try and replicate magic as well and stuff.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's terrifying thought experiment.
Gate exercises added to boot camp and basic training.
Yeah. But with that, is there anything else we want to say before we wrap up for today?
Yeah, I'm
get
good.
excited for next one.
Yeah, next one's gonna be so
Oh
big.
yeah.
Because I'll be
Woohoo!
here,
Next one.
Kyle's return!
Yay!
Oh!
Goodbye.
bitches. Goodbye.
He's alive.
Goodbye, everyone. See you
Bye.
Wednesday.
Bye-bye.